Every 3 years, an ancient ritual takes place here.
The SonarFeed is filmed live each week at the Berliner Pub in beautiful downtown Renton. As a live broadcast, the SonarFeed is uncensored and may not be suitable for all audiences.
Oh yeah!
Good evening! Hello folks! We are here on a live episode of SonarFeed. This is episode...
Wait. We're live?
We're live.
What?
On the interwebs.
Wow. Yeah. To the world.
Episode 76. We pulled a little bit of bait and switch. We told you Alan Hinton was here, but he's really not. So it's just us three. No, I'm kidding. Let me go to the other shot. Here we go. Now bringing into the frame, we have the legendary Coach Hinton.
Legendary. Yeah. Thank you for joining the Coach.
Thank you very much. Hey, this is going to be fun, guys.
Yeah.
If you guys are real, genuine fans of the Sounders.
We are.
And I love that.
We're nuts. We're a little crazy.
We're not crazy. Crazy all right with me.
The good news is you spelled his Twitter handle wrong, so you continued on your path
Yes!
doing it wrong.
Yes! I told you.
One L. Shit! So, all right. So let's do introductions. I am Aaron Riley, aka at Sonar Riley on Twitter. My left, your right.
Hugo Garcia, aka at Seattle on Twitter.
My right, your left.
Lee Rail, at Lee Rail.
Across from the table, we have
Adam C. Smith, plain and simple.
Adam C. Smith on Twitter and on
Everything.
real life.
My real name.
And in real life.
So.
Wait, is that your real name?
Absolutely.
And you're on that camera, right?
And you're on this camera.
Yeah.
That camera. Yeah.
I'm looking at Lee.
And then Mr. Alan Hinton.
Hey, I'm on Twitter too.
You are.
Nice.
And I got 9,240 followers. Half in the UK, half in Seattle, I would imagine.
Yep.
But my number is at Alan Hinton 11.
Yep.
Got to promote every way I go.
Absolutely.
You know? I've got to get to the magical 10,000.
Yep. Well, yeah. Right now you're about 10 times as many as I do. So that's
Yep.
you know.
All of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
all of us.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Let's give him
for
a
some
SonarFeed
reason,
bump.
yeah, the SonarFeed bump.
You're gonna get one new follower, Coach.
All right. So the good news is we're live right now. We actually have because you know we have a live studio audience. We will put this online as well, so people can watch this, and we'll tweet to you when we do, and that way you can link to it and see it and watch it again.
You can download it on iTunes too. And
Yeah, iTunes and all that.
Hey,
good
I'm
stuff.
not that technology.
We can help you. Don't worry.
Through.
So
we know people.
Yeah.
Well, they set this whole thing up, Coach. I mean, I don't know who it was, but somebody did a good job.
Yeah.
Someone who can't remember a Twitter
impressed.
handle.
I'm impressed.
Somebody who can't spell it.
Operation you got here. I don't need to know how to Operation spell. you got here.
So Adam has not been on the show for about 2 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
In December, wasn't it?
I had the camera the whole time, so I apologize for you guys missing out.
No,
on
that's
this.
okay. So you were last on the show about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
No, 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's probably 3 months because the off season's long.
Yeah. Okay. And
It's
and
not.
It felt long.
you and I have not been on the show together for a month.
I haven't seen you since January.
Yeah, it was January because he's been traveling, I've been traveling.
World traveling.
And I've seen you a little bit, which is good. But you were traveling too.
I was at the
so-
Super Bowl, so after that,
Yeah,
The
this is
Super Bowl?
yeah, I got to go.
You must know the right people because I couldn't get tickets to save my life.
No, he works at a bank. He got a good loan.
I got lucky and blessed. I'll take it.
And he's good luck, so he has to go to every one henceforth.
Oh, and he's pretty.
I try to keep up with you guys. I'm just trying to keep up with you guys.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So the Super Bowl, he was there, which was quite amazing. I mean, that
Ridiculous. It was the greatest time ever.
Yeah.
Maybe done
You know
now?
where I was? I was in Indian Wells at a snoozy country club.
Yep.
And we went for brunch on the morning of the game.
Okay.
Everybody in this snooty place was a Denver fan. You know what I said? You got no chance, baby. You're gonna get crushed.
I love it. Coach says you got no chance, baby.
No, I told them that no chance.
I love
I mean,
it.
the energy coming out of VMAC about the Seahawks was absolutely unreal all year.
Yeah.
And we just hope that rubs off a little bit on the Sounders. You know what I mean?
I thought it was cool because the whole city was amazing.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
city changed.
Yes.
I was in Detroit when the Tigers won the World Series. Someone was asking me about this recently. In '84, so a long time ago. 84. Wow. When the
What were
Tigers,
you, like 3?
I was 9. Yeah. But it was great. The same kind of thing. The city was alive. And that's what I felt this time because I travel a lot for business. So everyone was asking me, how's the city? What's going on? How are you guys going to do? And I never would have predicted, what was it, 444-8? I never would have predicted that.
No, I predicted a loss, actually.
You did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Hey, I was on Talk Radio UK
Yep.
last night for the early morning show over there.
Yes.
I couldn't wait to get a plug in about the Seahawks and the Sounders and what it's done for the city of Seattle.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just brought everybody together.
Absolutely.
And we can only do better now.
Exactly.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, we started the year off. We started 2014 off with a championship win, right?
Yes.
So we're walking into Sounder season where we've got 2 competitions to play in. We've got Open Cup. We've got MLS season starting up. We've got Mariners starting up. And you know, I mean, we've got a good opportunity there. We made some big acquisitions in Mariners land, from what I understand. I don't follow baseball, but I heard there's a lot of big names coming into Seattle.
But it's better if they win. It's better if we all win.
Sure.
Yes, it
Huskies
is.
win.
Yes.
Seahawks win.
Yeah.
College teams win.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's
better if we
addicting.
all win.
And it's
Then
addicting.
productivity goes up on a Monday.
Oh, yeah.
It always
Exactly.
does when the
You're
team
absolutely
wins.
right, and it's addicting. It makes the rest of the teams and everybody want to do more and want to get to that level, to get the city on that kind of explosion. It's all you can say.
You've been here since what? The mid-70s?
I came to Seattle in November of 1979.
Yeah, okay, late.
Oh,
yeah,
right after
okay.
the
I was
Sonics.
appointed
Yeah.
the head coach of the Sounders
Yep.
for the 80. I was here 80, 81, 82.
Okay.
We had 3 fantastic years. We had big crowds.
Yep.
Different dynamics to today. I think we had 5 people in the front office.
Right.
We still averaged, my first year, we averaged 25,000 a game.
Yeah.
And I realized one thing. If you win here and entertain the fans, they will
show
come
up.
to see you play. And they still remember my years because that's exactly what we did. And I think for the most part, over the last 5 years, the Sounders under Ziggy Smith have played entertaining offensive style soccer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't always had the bounce of the ball, but the key here, and I learned it early, was to entertain
Yes.
and win.
And win.
Now, one time, I think they were all happy to have teams here, but now all of a sudden, they're getting hungry for winners.
Well, that's just it. That's where I was going with it, because I've only been here since '91. I moved here in '91. So, and when I moved here, I came from Michigan, the Midwest. So, it's the city's awesome, but the city
You did
is
yourself
so,
a favor, didn't you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so happy to be from elsewhere and live here. I mean, this is home.
Yeah.
But it's there's something about the city. We've always been like the lovable losers, or I don't know what you want to call it. But we get so far,
It almost
but we
seems
don't like go
we
like that.
accepted that we were going to have bad luck.
Yes.
We felt like the world, the
Exactly.
sports god, sports luck was against us.
I'll
I
tell
mean,
you,
the only
19
championships we've deeply won that have been acknowledged. I mean, the
79
Supersonics.
Yep.
Supersonics.
I'll
I mean,
tell you right now,
That was the year I came here, 1979.
so it was you, coach.
The 79
No, I was Lenny
Seahawks.
Wilkins. What a He's a good pal of mine. He's a great guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
There were
Always
Seahawks.
awesome.
The newscasters would wear a paper bag over their head, and they were called the He-Hawks.
Hey, don't forget when what was his name?
Wayne Cody.
Well, Wayne Cody. I mean, the first time I met him on Cairo Radio was when I first came here.
Yep.
He was in the chair like this.
Yeah, he's big.
300 pound, great voice.
Yeah.
And,
Good voice.
fantastic. Wayne was a fantastic guy, and we've lost him now. But when we first came here, I forgot my line of thought. But the Seahawks,
We're new.
Jack. What was his name?
Jack Patera.
Jack Patera was the coach.
Wow.
They weren't very good.
Yeah.
But they had some good moments with
Yeah.
Jim Zorn.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Steve Largent.
And the kicker, who was the kicker? Herrera. I liked him because he kicked like soccer.
Soccer, yeah.
That was good.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk Seahawks all night. Is that okay with you?
I'm gonna go ahead and take some notes over here for next show. But this brings up
This is a city, though.
This brings up a lot of emotion. Though. Go ahead, Adam.
Oh, no, I was just going to swing it back from Seahawks to Sounders because I was there in 79, 80, 81. I watched the coach. I was at the games. I was 6, 7, 8, 9 years old. And to have him here right now is, you would have never thought of that this could be possible as a child
Exactly.
with Twitter and social network and Seattle and good people all to make this happen. It's just amazing to me now to think back that I was there watching him on the sidelines. He's my hero.
Social media
Yeah.
is the greatest thing that's happened to sports,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
I agree.
And I think any Sounders fan that's discussing it in a proper manner
Yep.
in a proper manner.
But if anybody's out of line, you just cut him off. I mean, no, you do. You can't.
Yeah.
You don't want people that are being silly and stupid.
Yeah, short-minded.
But I mean, I know Emerald City Supporters Club completely communicates by Twitter.
Right. Sure.
Yeah.
So it just tells you how. So the bottom line about all the social media is if they're talking about the Sounders, rumors good and bad.
Yep.
Like Drogba is supposed to be a rumor coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's true or false.
Right.
When I was coaching the Sounders, I'd drop them out occasionally.
Yeah.
And it was the only way you'd get publicity.
Right.
The other thing is Don James was a good friend of mine at the Huskies.
the Dogfather,
And I used to talk to Don and I'd say, "How was your practice today?" "Oh, we had a closed door practice." And I go, "What's that mean, Don?" He says, "Well, we locked all the media out." I go, "You locked them out?" I said, "When they come to see me, I lock them in." And the reason I lock them in is because they have to agree to write a story about soccer, which was not easy to get in those days.
No, right.
And we say, "Okay, you can get out if you promise to write a story."
Yeah.
But that's how far we've come, the Sounders and everybody else.
No, and
Plus
I
all
agree.
the people in the community, youth soccer,
That
adult
brings up
soccer.
That brings up a really good question, Coach, because we were, and I'm going to say we, because I'm going to go this end of the room. We were all young when NASL was around for the first iteration. Talk us through some of those early days. I mean, you were here towards the later end of the Pele days, so to speak. Or
I came in 1977.
So you had a little bit of that.
Well, but I'd retired in England in 1976, having played in the big leagues for the best part of 20 years.
Sure.
So I came here, and the reason we came here to be, you're a good bunch of guys, I'll tell you the truth. Our son died. We lost our boy when he was 9 years of age.
That was
little
last week?
Matthew.
Last week, or?
Matthew. It was his birthday last week, or February 17th. So we came for a lot of different reasons, but the one thing we did come for, and I went to Dallas to play.
That's right.
They wanted me to be the captain, and I said, "I'm 35, I was a little bit overweight, I was emotionally a mess." But the coach, Al Miller, said, "Well, let's give it 3 weeks, 3-4 games," and we won every game, and I continued to be the captain. But frankly, it was a little bit easy, having been in the big leagues.
Exactly.
They'd play American fullbacks against me, and they hadn't got a clue about closing down or tackling. They'd just run into you, and you just go by them and cross another ball, and so it was easy. But the game's come a long, long way. I mean, 1978, I went to Vancouver to be assistant coach only.
Yep.
But I played, and I broke the assist record with 30.
Wow.
30 assists that year.
And then I went to Tulsa to be the head coach. And my last game for Tulsa, believe it or not, my last game in Tulsa, semi-final of the conference, we beat the New York Cosmos 3-0 in Tulsa. 30,000 fans.
Nice.
So the return game was in Giants Stadium.
Right.
You know what the crowd was? 76,000 fans. Wow. And I guess who got fired at the end of the season. and I never got fired for performance, by the way.
Yeah.
It must be, people don't like me sometimes, I mean, they think I'm a bit outspoken, but I'm always me,
But that's what we like about you, Coach, is that you are you. And that's, I think if you look at us, we're the same way. We don't put
but I'm on the
false
same wavelength
pretenses.
for you guys. You okay?
We just are honest. We're, good or bad. I mean, I hate this guy, but I love him. I mean, for real. I mean, I'm dead serious.
We call each other out.
and this guy, over here. I mean, it's family. We're family.
And
So I went to the
here too.
then I got fired in Tulsa, and I remember going to the owner of the team, and I had a 2-year guaranteed contract.
Yep.
I should have sued them when I didn't. Because when I came to America, they told me it was land of the Sioux. I thought it was Indian country, but it really isn't. It's Sioux.
It was close though.
So I had this 2-year guaranteed contract, and I went to the owner and I said, "This contract says you owe me for 2 years." And he said, "I'm not going to pay you." And I said, "Is that somebody else's signature or is it yours?" So in the end, I got the job. I had a choice of San Jose or Seattle. Because I'd done such a good job in Tulsa, that's why they wanted me.
Sure.
But there was no question about it. Having worked in Vancouver in '78, I was often down in the Kingdom, and I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I was sad when that got imploded. That was a rich man's deal. I mean, it's a wonderful stadium now. But
it is.
The old Kingdom was magic.
Yes.
So I had 3 great years in the Kingdom, and we practiced there, and I had some great players. But there was one thing I always did. I never bought a player over unless they really wanted to be here.
Right.
That's always key.
Which is key. But that's absolutely key. And I think
is that
that's
your number one tenet after talent and everything else when you go after when you think of someone?
Well, I
you want to
that
be
band.
there.
I used to go and meet that band. And I used to say, and then there's one guy, his name was Mick Flanagan, wanted to come and play for me. He was a good player. I used to negotiate the contracts as well. And he said, Coach, I need to be in the first class cabin on the jet planes. And I go, no, it's not going to work. He says, why not? I said, because everybody's going to walk by you to go to the back of the bus. And all of a sudden, you're going to be smiling at them and they're going to be pissed with you.
Yeah.
Because it's unfair.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, I didn't sign him because I wouldn't.
yeah.
They have some rules that are unbreakable. So for me, bringing in players, they've got to come and build a good life for you.
Right.
It's a wonderful. I mean, I'm a perfect example. I've been here
Exactly.
35 years.
Right.
I love this country. I'm 71.
Yep.
35 years in England. 36 years now, almost in America.
Wow.
And I love this place. It's
You
wonderful.
still got the accent.
Not when I go back to England. When I go back to England, they go, "You're talking like a Yank."
Well, that's a great question because we actually have a favorite player that's been here with us a few times. Michael Sperning,
he's great.
who's not he came here with the intentions of wanting to be here in America, and he's no longer. He's playing in Greece now. For those who don't know, tell us how that is, that transition as a player going back and forth between teams or countries or
Especially countries, cultures.
I think Michael Sperning is a good case because he wanted to be here.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Jimmy Traore, I think, wants to be here.
Yeah, I
agree,
By the way he's conducted himself.
Yeah.
I do like the way the changes have been made at the Sounders. I think we're going to have a very good year.
Yeah.
But Jimmy Traore wants to be here.
Yeah.
I can tell that by talking with him.
And it makes a difference.
Obafemi Martins strangely seems much more happier this year
Way happier.
than he was last year.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to have
I know, hold on.
dinner with the team every night in Tucson and
Yeah.
lunch with the team every day in Tucson at training camp. And they allowed me to stay and listen to the presentations. And Smetser's brilliant.
He is.
Smetser.
Now, he is watching in theory.
Well, is he
No.
watching this?
Yeah,
Smetz?
you can he's on camera there.
Yeah.
That's the camera right there.
It's a blue. You're looking at Schmetzer
Hey,
now.
Smetz, you're doing all right, kiddo. So, he was winding up the young players, like the first-year players. Smetz was winding them up, they didn't know it.
Yeah.
And they were having to tell the group who they were. And Smetzer would say, tell us a funny story about some... And I got to tell you, I was directly opposite Obafemi Martin. He was falling on the floor with laughter.
That's
Now,
good.
I don't think he would have done that last year.
No.
So there's a good thing for this year from him.
Can I say, too, I mean, we've had a lot of amazing players. We've had some amazing, I mean, in the MLS era here.
Right.
MLS era. And one of the questions I have for you is a little bit later is to ask about your overall opinion since in the whole history of it. But Oba, to me, excites me like no other player we've ever had. Personally, something about.
Wait, hang on. When we talk
there's
about
a couple reasons.
when we talk about Blaise Kufo and Freddie Ljungberg, and you see Oba come in with that same type of, let's say, targeted player or assassin type mentality.
One thing we need from Oba, we need him to do these flips.
Yes,
That's exactly what we
score
want.
the goals.
I will tell you this about Oba. He needs to get goals.
Yes.
That's what he does.
Absolutely.
exactly.
Like Eddie Johnson when he was here, he
Yep.
needed to get goals.
Right.
Freddie Montero scored a lot of goals here.
Absolutely.
He's doing well in Portugal.
That is
now.
a thing. That is a thing.
It's a numbers game. When I used to build a team, I'd go, I was lucky, first year, 1980, Roger Davis got 25 goals.
Right.
And a young kid
That's
from
crazy.
Tacoma, a young American named Mark Peterson, who's now gone, God bless him,
Yep.
he died of lymphoma. He scored 15 goals, so it's 40 goals.
With two players.
And I knew year 2, 81, we couldn't possibly achieve that again. But
Yeah.
But one of these years, a sounder player is going to get 15, 20 goals.
Is it going to be Oba?
Well, it could be Albert. It could be Kenny Cooper. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a very well-known goal scorer.
Which is funny because a lot of people are really nervous about Kenny Cooper.
Kenny
They have a
Cooper
lot of
back-to-back 18-goal seasons.
right, exactly.
But then,
But
you know, a
don't
lot of
forget he was playing with Henri.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't know if you know about Henri, but
Yeah.
Henri is like,
wait.
Whoa, Henri, you know what I mean? I mean, that's the way he is. I mean, he's on his way on the highway. Now, a great player at Arsenal.
he was.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
I know this for a fact.
He was a
When
monster.
Kenny Cooper scored a couple of goals for the Red Bulls.
Sure.
I guess who's on the bench next game? Kenny Cooper.
It definitely wasn't Terry
I
Henry
think
for
Kenny
sure.
Cooper's found a good home here.
I agree.
He's
I
settled
agree.
down very well. By the way, a little bit of a trivia deal. I played in Dallas in 1977. The goalkeeper was Kenny Cooper's dad.
Oh, wow.
There you go, people.
I talked with him today.
I would have
Great
never got
guy.
that.
No
I would have
kidding.
never got
He's a great guy.
That's
That
incredible.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Wait. So we can get Kenny Cooper's dad on the show.
He can talk for England. He's an Englishman originally.
Is he really?
I'll get him on. I'll give you his number after the show. No, he's
Just have
great.
some random guy call him.
I tell you,
I got
he's
your
great.
number.
He's great.
That's awesome.
Should we go into a couple questions here? Because I'm
We
getting
are.
feedback here that everybody wants you to talk about your stories all night
Yeah,
long.
we apparently we're going to forget about the opening kick on Saturday. We're just going to go into coach stories for the rest of the time.
Which is totally good. So let's talk. So you asked the question kind of a little bit about like you coming over here, right? Obviously, let's talk about your Derby days, right? What you scored 63 goals I think for Derby, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So, Derby. God, did I say Derby?
Yes, you did.
God damn it.
God, you're so American. You're so American.
I spelled it with an A even.
I knew that and I practiced it all day.
Let me tell you, I started.
No, actually, he actually says FIFA as well. It's fine.
Oh my God.
That's the way he is.
Wait, so you lived up to your show title?
Don't get embarrassed.
All right.
I mean, you won't be the first person to say that.
I know.
But the biggest the biggest horse race in England is called the Derby.
Derby, yeah,
That's
right.
spelled D-E-R-B-Y
Yeah, right.
as well.
Yeah.
And a derby between Nottingham Forest and Derby
Yeah.
is a derby. Some people say it's a derby.
Yeah.
It's a derby.
Derby.
Is a horse derby a derby?
Oh crap. Okay.
Just checking.
So let me ask you the question then. You had a nickname.
I have several.
Several. Yeah, right. But the one is where'd it go?
Gladys.
Got it.
And you still have a lot of big followers and fans there. Do
know
you
why I
still
was
call you
Gladys?
that?
Because of your hair and your shoes, I believe, right?
My hair, mainly,
Yes.
because my hair was over my ears. I'll show you a picture after the show.
Okay, all right,
And I think they call me a granny because of that, or Gladys.
Gladys,
Don't
yeah.
like a granny.
Yep.
But I will tell you this: there was a very famous player at my first club, Wolverhampton Wanderers, which was the best club in the world in the 50s, and I was lucky enough to be trained there as
Yeah.
an apprentice pro. There was a player there named Dennis Wilshaw. They called him Gladys. So when they called me Gladys, I was thrilled. Now I'm up to Dennis. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, the big deal about a club like Derby, you're right on the, I played right on the touchline,
Yep.
and you're almost touching the crowd.
Oh wow. Okay.
So they could talk to me and shout to me, and they knew I was hearing.
Yeah.
But I also wore white boots.
Yep. Yep.
and
Which
I
it was
got-
uncommon though, right? During that time.
Everyone
when you were
wore
there.
black.
Yeah.
Black
You know what I
boots.
think happened? Looking back, my coach was a genius, Brian Clough,
Okay.
with mind games. And looking back,
Chess.
I think he told every player, don't take the mickey out of Alan because he's wearing these stupid white boots. Right? And they never did. So I'm convinced that the coach said,
Something.
leave that alone, that's not a subject we're going there. Because if we upset Alan, he's not going to play like he is playing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you about the boots. You had a lot of amazing goals throughout your career with Derby. So, is there one particular goal that you score that sticks to mind that you're
It's on
yeah.
YouTube. It's on YouTube. Derby County versus Arsenal,
Okay.
1972. I cut inside and I smacked it with my right foot. And if the net hadn't been there, it'd have gone right through the back of the net. Whoa. I scored another goal against in the Champions League. So I'm lucky. I mean, I had two very good feet.
Yeah.
So if you go Alan Hinton goals on YouTube against Benfica, I played very well. Against Manchester City, I did very well. You'll notice before you look, the fields were very muddy.
Yes. Yeah. I've seen some of your videos.
But we never
there.
got injured. So what's
Yeah.
the deal between today and my day? And we used to drink beer
So
like
you
crazy.
want to know what it is, Coach?
Yeah.
Pussies. Sorry.
That's why we're so not for you.
But I tell you, today,
wimps.
every single player,
PG would be wimps.
hey, every single
sorry.
player,
That's right.
every single player is
Yeah.
tied up to technology,
Yeah.
practice,
Yeah.
games,
Yeah.
and I have a great conversation with the coaches, and I go,
So
What about the old eyes and the guts?
yeah.
Isn't that the
It is.
most important thing?
Yeah.
So I want to come back.
Anything that helps is good.
Yeah, I want to come back to that. Nick Hollywood here, and he's one of our loyal listeners, says, ask him about the double-footed cross.
Double-footed left cross.
Double-footed left cross. You had a double-footed left cross. Does that ring a bell?
Well, I think he's trying to say I'm double-footed, which means both feet.
Yeah.
Ambidextrous.
No, I can kick with both feet.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
In fact,
Okay.
a lot of people have said that I was the best two-footed crosser of the ball that ever played.
Really?
Coaches, players I played with, and
Interesting.
you look at the old videotapes, and
Yeah.
you see me crossing the ball with my left and my right,
With no difference,
and it
basically.
was automatic to me. You know why? When I was a kid playing, we were raised poor. We didn't know it. I think I might have been the richest kid in this town because everybody was taking care of me, and I used to kick a tennis ball against the wall. And this guy used to come from work in his overalls every day at 5:30. About 5:15, I'd run out because he always used to say, "You keep doing that, son, you'll play for England one day." And the encouragement I didn't get all the time because we were raised tough. This guy used to give it to me. So then I went to Wolves. The emphasis was on techniques.
Yeah.
And over all the things I've ever done as a coach, striking the ball left and right foot, control and pass has always been my greatest love.
Okay.
That's
I think that if
interesting.
you get that as a kid,
Yeah.
both feet, and the way to get a young kid to kick with his other foot is to bribe him, give him candy, give him money, whatever you got to do. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
Or to have him watch a coach when he was little who was left-footed when you're right-footed and try forever to try to be a left-footed person at time not.
That kind of brings up a conversation we had last year. And this is a conversation we were talking about DeAndre Yedlin, who's great on the right side, right? And he's got a great right foot, right? And he's crossing the ball great. He's doing great things. And I brought up, it's like, with a young kid like that, why aren't we developing him on both sides, left and right? So when you're talking about your development and getting those both feet involved, why are we seeing in today's, and I know we'll go back to history here in a second, but why are we seeing in today's coaching world where we're specifying positions at such a young age, and when I say young age, I mean 15, 16, 17 years old, and
you're
players
pigeonholed there now, you're there.
They're pigeonholed.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's another kid coming through named Aaron Kovacs. I met with him in Tucson. We had a nice little chat. And he's going to do well. And I'll tell you what his primary thing is. He's got two great feet.
Yeah, okay.
He's got a good right foot. He's got a superb left foot.
Yeah.
And all he's got to learn is when it's his moment on the field to do the business. And that's some of the things that the kids need to learn today when it's their moment. Yedlin had a fantastic year.
He did.
I mean,
no doubt.
He was on the U.S. national team. Now, the big deal is year two is often a difficult time, but he's a good kid and he works hard. He's a local boy, went to O'Day, and I love he's not a shy boy. His haircut he has, and he likes
I think they
dress
call
up
that
in the
slang
clothes.
nowadays.
Someone else likes that, huh?
But he's a good guy and he's a good player.
So circling back into kind of both the history and a today question. Back to his comment about being a wimp, so to speak, and the game's changed. Do you feel like there is more flopping and more drama today than there was previously, or do you think it's highlighted more because of the way the commentation's going and the commentators are going,
Or
is it-
television. Maybe
or television?
No, I think flopping is a big problem.
More so now than it was in your day.
I think if anything, if any one part of the game is going to drive fans away, it's that.
It's that, yeah.
People
Right.
trying to cheat,
Yep.
dive, trying to get their colleagues in the same business in trouble.
Yep.
Sure. I find that shocking.
Yeah.
In my day, if I would have done the stuff they pulled today, my own team would have gone,
Thank you.
get up, you coward.
Yeah.
Be a man.
Right.
But we didn't go, and I played with players who were way tougher than I.
Yeah.
I'm just.
If they ever went down injured, they were injured.
Yeah. Right.
But it's a different ball game today because
It is. Well, it's one thing. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I started watching soccer only for real
5 years ago.
6 years ago. Yeah. The year and a half. So when they announced the Sounders were going to be an MLS team, I was a Seahawks season ticket holder. I had been for years. My wife hates the NFL, but she loves soccer, and I had watched it, but not in depth. But when they came, I'm like, well, all right, we're buying season tickets, so I'm gonna learn the game. And when I do something, I go into it like all full board. I have watched more soccer in the last 6 years than I think some people have watched in their entire life who've watched soccer their entire life. Because that's all I do.
It's a great
now.
night out. It's a great night out.
I mean, it's great for the family.
When you're talking about everybody's got the scarves on and the
And it's the most affordable sports out of all the leagues.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's
when I used to watch the games in the press box with Jimmy Gabriel, who's an old coach, he's now moved to Palm Springs for a few months, but we used to sit together and we'd look at the Emerald City group behind the goal and we'd go, can you believe what we're looking at? But I got to tell you something. Me and Jimmy and one or two of the others, we put a lot of hard work into it at the time with all the players, doing clinics around town. The game's come a long, long way. I'm going to tell you a story, Kenny Cooper story real quick.
Oh, go for it. Love it.
Kenny Cooper came out of England. Kenny Cooper's the dad of Kenny Cooper, now plays for the Sounders. I talked to his son about this story. In about 1975, when he was playing for the Dallas Tornado, he had to go out with an orange jacket, knocking on people's doors, giving them tickets for the game. Until one night he knocked on a door of a guy, and the guy was unshaven and rough, and he'd probably been on the booze. And Kenny said, I'm from the Dallas Tornado, I'm the goalkeeper. He said, I'd like to give you 2 tickets for our game tomorrow night. He said, come here. Soccer is another name for shit. So I told his son the story, and you know what his son said? He's already told me that. He said, now but guess what? He's still got the damn jacket. What I'm trying to make the point is, they're the pioneers. In my early days in America, I'd go back to England and say, what are you doing over there with those turkeys? Get back here where we got real soccer. They don't say that anymore.
Real soccer.
That's good.
So I mean, I've been here 35 years, and I got to tell you, I've never once done any job in America for money. I've done it for love of the game, and I love being here, and I love the way the game is right now. I can't wait for the Sounders to be drawing 50,000 a game.
I know.
I think it's possible.
I think it is.
We're close.
Well, I hope so. I mean,
All it takes is winning. That's all it takes.
all it takes is winning.
I have a question from a personal friend in Egypt that just he's in Cairo, and he just asked what's your he's watching. He asked what's your favorite teammate, your best teammate was back on the English squad.
You mean the best team in England that I like?
No, your teammate. Your favorite teammate. Your favorite.
Oh, I love playing with Roy McFarland, who played for England. I love playing with Kevin Hector. I love playing with John O'Hare, Derby. Great players. Colin Todd was a great player. Our coaches were wonderful. I only played 3 times, sadly, for England. And I know why.
And you scored 1 or 2, right?
I scored 1 goal against Belgium. I think it was a bit lucky, though, to tell you the truth.
What years did
But I also will tell you this. You won't believe this story. It's going to be in my book as well. It's a great story.
Now, when's the book coming out?
In the next few months.
Okay, good.
So
So here's the story,
I got picked. My wife and I arranged to get married October 19, 1964. So we're married 50 years this year, right?
Congratulations.
Oh, wow.
And, so we organized it like 5-6 months before. You got married on a Monday. The coach, and I was playing for Nottingham Forest, wonderful manager named Johnny Carey. So he'd say, come in on Thursday for practice. So you'd have a nice couple of days honeymoon, get married, have a good time, you know? So all of a sudden, I get a call to say I've been picked for the England national team on Wednesday, 2 days after I got married. Against Belgium. Now I'm thrilled to bits.
Yes.
Of course.
Now I know how sensitive these coaches are, and I was only 22. Wow. So I now have to be careful what I say to the coach, Alf Ramsey. If I say I got a problem, he'd say, well, forget about playing. So I was very good, and I said, I'm so happy you picked me to play. I'm looking forward to it, but I've got an issue I've got to discuss with you. I'm scheduled to get married on Monday morning at 11 o'clock. He says, oh, congratulations. I'll see you at the team hotel at 7 o'clock on Monday night. So I finished up going to the Hendon Hall Hotel, sharing a room with 2 guys.
On your honeymoon night.
My pals at Nottingham Forest were saying, I'll go and take care of your wife, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So anyway,
that's a SonarFeed story right there.
That is the true story.
We always try to look
be
at
my
girls,
boss,
but we
that's a
spend
good
nights with each other instead. We're on Monday nights all guys, so we kind of sympathize a little bit.
Well, let's as we're talking stories here. Since you have played for a national team and we're coming up in a World Cup year, what's your outside of your wedding night story, which is amazing? Yeah. What's your favorite national team story playing back then?
The most disappointing, if you like, was we played my third time I played for England. We won 2-0 against Wales at Wembley. I crossed both the balls for Frank Wignall to score, and they were good crosses. I got 2 assists on the 2 goals, and I played well against the right fullback with Stuart Williams, and I think I gave him a bit of a run around. I never got picked again because the coach started playing 4-4-2. Which meant instead of being an out-and-out winger, which basically did my work 30 yards from the goal, I was expected to run back and forth between the boxes.
Yeah, God forbid, we don't want you working that hard, Coach.
No, that was not my game.
Running was not your
Hey, if you wanted a goal and you wanted to create a goal, set plays, I was your man. But going back tackling was not my deal.
So
I was not known as a tackler.
Let me ask you, if you look at the players for the Sounders over the last 5 seasons, which player would you say most played the same style that you played back in your?
Zakawani, no question about it.
Wow.
No kidding.
Wow.
Zakawani.
I thought it would have been Rosales.
Gonzalez was a little bit similar, but I had a lot of pace and he really didn't.
Yeah.
But he was a bit more tricky than I was in terms of ball control.
Good question. Yeah.
I was powerful. I could cut in and shoot with either foot. I could cross the ball on the run. And Zakawani, when he was at his best, he was so lovely to watch play, and he was beating people. I loved it when he got the ball 30 yards from goal away.
Oh man, the speed.
And I hope. I'm disappointed he's not here, but I hope for his sake that he recovers. It's not a certainty he will, but I hope he does.
But don't you think this is the best opportunity for him, though, being in Portland back with Caleb Porter?
I talked with him for quite a while in Tucson. He's a wonderful boy. I mean,
he is.
You know, I mean, we've always had a good relationship. Left wingers stick together. You know what I mean?
Zakawani confirms.
I hope he makes it back. I mean,
I do too.
I do think the Sounders had a dilemma with him because, you know, in the end, I think there was confusion between everybody. Is he going to be okay or is he not?
Yeah.
And then he would have been a big problem with the salary cap, which is a nightmare, by the way. I hate that damn salary cap. I hate it.
Oh, Jesus.
Here we go.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, stay on the path.
No. That's the last question we're going to ask. We're going to talk about salary cap and MLS here at the last question of the night.
But I think, I mean, as a fan, like we talked about before the show a little bit, like I don't know anything other than what I know, which is very little, and I'm willing to admit that. But Zakawani, to me, I think being down there, I think is the best opportunity. And I know we hate Portland and all that other stuff, but we do. But screw that. I don't really care. For him, as a player, as a person, as a I want to see him succeed. I want to see him lose 4 times a year or 3 times a year.
I will tell you this, that this Cascadia rivalry, and I played and coached, I played for the Whitecaps, I was assistant coach, I went back in '84 to coach the team out of BC play, so I'm very familiar with Vancouver.
Right.
I'm disappointed that Vancouver doesn't get more people at their games.
That's a good point.
They do get 22,000. When I was at Vancouver in 1978, we finished up getting 33,000 sellouts.
So
it's another city like this. If they can just win and play entertaining soccer, I think they're getting there.
Yes.
I like the new coach, Robinson, who's taken over. It's a very good franchise, but Portland is unreal.
Yeah.
22,000. They're all nutcases that watch them play, but they love it. And the rivalry, I saw it in Portland and Vancouver. The Sounders were in the same hotel in Tucson. And when we played each other in a friendly game, this was no friendly game.
There's no friendly game.
So we actually have some fans from Vancouver watching, and one of them has a question for you. And you want to pronounce the name because I'm going to pronounce it wrong. So he wants me. His name is Mark Daly. He's a good friend of ours. He says, ask Alan if he thought the way Brian Clough,
you were right.
I did it right. I'm horrible at pronunciation. Was depicted in the film The Damn United.
Oh, Damn United's a marvelous movie. I mean,
so was he?
It is.
The actor who played Brian Clough, Martin Sheen.
Okay.
He almost looks like him.
Okay.
And he played a marvelous part. Clough really hated Leeds United. That's where the movie came from.
Yep.
Damned United. I've written a chapter in my book about Damned United and my side of it.
Okay.
Because the funniest part of the movie for me was when the chairman walked on the field, Sam Longson, who was well played, and he said to Brian Clough, he said, Mr. Manager, you're spending all my money. and you're paying Colin Todd £300 a week. Well, I was making £110 a week. And I'm going, what's going on here? So, cut a long story short, I went home with my wife, and it's bothering me. £300 a week, and I was making £110 a week. And it's 10:30 at night now, so I can't call England because it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I go, my buddy's in Australia, Terry Hennessy. I phoned him up. You know what he said? I was making £300 a week as well. You've got to be joking. So my wife, because it's now 11 o'clock and she's ready to go to sleep, and you know what she said? You were never any good at negotiating anyway. But that's a very good movie.
Is it? Okay. I don't think I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
I scored a goal in the movie, but if you blink, you'll miss it.
Well, I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I'm watching it tomorrow.
It's a good flick.
It's on Netflix, I think.
It is.
The derby was full of drama, and we almost went on strike one time, the team.
Okay.
Wow. Because our coach resigned. And then Dave Mackay took over, and we won the big league again in '75. So it was a marvellous 10 years at Derby. I was there 10 years. And when I retired, they very kindly gave me a testimonial match.
Yeah, okay, they did.
Which they provided the field and everything else, and I got all the money. So
That's good.
It's very nice. I mean,
So credit what Brian Ching did.
It's like a retirement when they give you a lot.
So if I'd have had big money, I'd have probably given it to charity like he did.
Yeah, right.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how that kind of worked out. I mean, how as you ended your career in England and you came over here, did you feel like today the attitude is MLS is the retirement league and it's changing, but when you came over here in the late '70s, did you feel like you were coming to a retirement league?
No. Every single player, Bruce Rioch, Alan Hudson, Stevie Buttle, Steve Daly, Tommy Hutchison, Roger Davis, Jack Brand, David Nish, every single player that came to play for the Sounders, in my opinion, certainly the ones that were involved with me, I didn't want them if they didn't want to be here.
Sure.
And I don't think they came for big money. I think they came to look at America. And I told them all, I said, you might fall in love with the country. And I'm the perfect example. I fell in love with Seattle.
Well, there's a lot to love.
I go in the coffee shops, and I'm very social, as you know.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But the bottom line is, this is a great country.
Sure.
And I think the way to get players from Europe, and you got to ban players saying, I won't ever go in Europe. That puts down our league.
Yeah.
And I think it's about time the American players came back from Europe, and there's dozens of them. What you got to do is look at the US national team. Jose Altidore cannot get in the 18 at Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to go over there and tell Sunderland that we'll take him off the hands.
Yeah.
And bring him back.
Yeah. No, that's a great point.
They've got to find a way to do it. I mean, Dempsey's back. He's going to have a great year next year. I hope he starts on Saturday.
Do you think he will start on Saturday, or do you think he'll be in the 18?
Well, it all depends. I mean, if he flies in tomorrow, which he may, my rule was this. If I brought players in from Europe, if they flew in on a Thursday, I wouldn't start him. I'd put him on the bench on a Saturday.
Yeah.
But if you fly in Tuesday or Wednesday, and don't forget in my day, we put him in coach.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Today, no. They go in business class. And they lie down and they take a nap.
I didn't even get that, and I travel internationally as much as
You know what I'm saying? So it's a different ball game today. So for me, the coach is very good, Ziggy.
Yeah.
He'll talk with them. He'll see what he's like. But also, there's a lot of responsibility on Clint Dempsey to do the job this year. He came in last year with huge fanfare. I think it's pretty fair to say maybe even he thought this league was a bit easier than it turns out to be. This is one tough league. The tackle, referees aren't great, but they tackle, they close down, and Dempsey will be it'll be different gravy this year.
So can I ask a question here? That your comment there just shook up my probably one of my second favorite player we've ever had, Tifford. Tifford. See, I did it wrong.
You're on fire.
God damn it. Yeah, Christian Tifford. Tifford. Whatever.
Very serious guy.
Tifford.
He was raised in Leipzig, in Eastern Germany. Did a good job in West Germany as a player. I'm not sure he ever settled. I think maybe he thought he was a bit easier.
Yeah, I think so.
You know the cop out, and they all come talking to me.
Do they really?
When they tell me, and they've all done it, Kupo's told me, Lomberg's told me, we don't keep the ball enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Hey, we're not always good enough to keep the ball like
Right.
we do at Bayern Munich and
Exactly.
Barcelona and
Right.
Arsenal
Right.
and Chelsea and Liverpool.
Right.
One day we will be.
Right.
And it'll help if we can start bringing some of these good Americans back, and then make sure the international players really want to be here.
Right. But I always loved him. I thought his ability was that special.
I thought he was a
You
great
and I were
player
both on
too.
the same.
Tifford?
Same
Yeah.
Tifford.
I thought he had some quality about him.
But I guess what do you think?
I think like you're saying, I think he was challenged in the U.S. game, in the MLS game.
Yes.
It was a hard
It's a
transition for
roughneck,
him.
tough. Would you
Well,
say it was
coming from Bundesliga is not the easiest league in the world. We got to remember that.
No,
but,
it's not. It's hard
But it
league.
is.
There's a lot of bad teams in that league.
Yes, there are.
And I'm English, and I'm going to say the English Premier League's the toughest.
That's what I was gonna say. Even
I
back when
believe
you
it.
were playing,
Yeah.
the England soccer culture tends to be a little bit rough, and they hit you hard. I mean, there's a lot of they don't take it. It's not an easy game. You know? So seeing some of the players now like Tifford struggle. It's because
A lot of players who struggled. I mean, Johansson came out here with a good Johansson,
Yeah.
the Swedish fullback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Yedlin's a better player than him.
Way better.
yeah.
You think so?
I do. Oh yeah. I agree.
I'm not disagreeing with Coach. I'm just asking a
I
question.
got to tell you, though, he was a very nice guy, Johansson.
Oh, sure.
Pretty long, but charming. Swedes are good people.
Well, you look good in underwear too, Coach. But I don't talk about that.
My wife liked him like that too. I'll tell you what. My wife loved. She was sad to see him go. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, I want to go. I want to hear Coach's best England, Germany, 1960s, early 70s story he's got.
Wait.
I'll tell you the best one, and I'll tell you the worst one. All right, I'll tell you the best one. No, I'll tell you the worst one first. I remember when I was a young pro, we'd always go to Germany pre-season. Great country, Dusseldorf. We play Schalke.
Yeah.
We play in Frankfurt. We'd often start playing against a amateur team, then we'd play a semi-pro team, then we'd play the best. I'm embarrassed to tell you that if we English were losing, have a guess what we'd say sometimes. We won the war. I'm embarrassed to tell you that now because I've got some good German friends.
Oh, yeah.
The average German didn't win the war like the average American and Britain won the war. But a great story. I remember.
I'm going to remember that.
That's great. I love it.
I remember being on Vancouver Island for the soccer tournament. England played Germany in Germany
Yeah.
with a bunch of Canadians, and England won 5-1 in Germany. Michael Owen scored 3, and we had a ball.
That's odd. Yeah.
We didn't. Now today, the Germans. I mean, I know they keep going invading Poland to get players and everything, but the German Bayern Munich, unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
going to be a great. I'll tell you what, the Champions League semi-finals and finals could be maybe better than the World Cup.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Where are you
It's
gonna watch
all-star
them?
teams.
Where are you gonna watch them?
I don't know yet.
Not sure.
I don't know yet.
Well,
but
you know, we do have opening here for the World Cup. If we'll be here.
We'll be here. We're coming down here to
I'm
watch.
going to go different places.
Yeah, good.
Well, you're always welcome.
You always.
Thank you very much.
You got a
All right.
mic here. You got
So let's tie it back in. You got a question?
Yeah, a couple
Go ahead.
questions. One's gonna be funny question, and another one a little more serious. One is, have you had Mexican food, and what is your favorite kind of taco?
I like.
Why do we bring him again?
I like chicken tacos, and I like lamb tacos.
Ooh, lamb! Wow!
Hey, I like. I'm on a seafood diet. Can't you see? Seafood diet.
You people.
No, I like Mexican food, and I like the Mexican people too.
Nice.
You know,
Love it.
there's a lot of Mexican people here work in restaurants. It's fantastic.
Yes, and
I go to Carmine's restaurant downtown.
Yep.
I go to the Biz on Main Street.
El Terrazzo.
Yeah, fantastic restaurant.
love it.
The whole staff.
Coach calls out Vancouver fans to the mat, and he loves the Mexican people in Mexico.
So,
Lamb taco.
how bad do you think Mexico is?
I like them all.
Yeah, me too.
And I don't care what color they are.
But how
You know what
bad-
I like good people.
How good? How
I like bad
far?
people. You know what I do?
I do.
I walk away from them.
And how well do you think El3
How bad?
Mexico's gonna do in the World Cup?
Dos
I thought
Acero.
I thought the headline in the Mexican newspapers when the U.S. got them out of jail in the last moment. When the headline said, "God bless America." I thought that was fantastic.
I agree.
Any sort of that newspaper deserves a big pat on the back. But
How'd Mexico do?
you've got the jackpot. You play Brazil.
That's right. We do.
I mean,
we
you,
do.
you just got in like that. Right?
I know.
And then you got drawn against Brazil. Yeah. So what?
Because the U.S. has got it so much
The
easier.
Mexicans that take their pesos, or they borrow like we all do sometimes, they're going to go to Brazil, and they're going to watch that big game, and that's their paradise.
Well, let me ask you, how do you think they're going to do down there?
Well, they won't do very well, but I mean,
It'll be a great game.
I will say this: a World Cup without Mexico is not a World
That's
Cup.
right.
But they're wonderful. They're wonderful.
Tweet that out.
I love the way they play, and
But they're not going to do well.
Now to bring that back to
what about England? I
MLS.
mean, how's England going to do?
Well, well, not so good, Coach, but that's fine. We'll be here for you.
Yes. Now let's bring it back MLS. Talking a little bit about what happened down at Chivas. Do you think with what happened with them that the MLS is ready for growth and adding a couple more teams, even though one team is being bought by the league?
My feeling about the expansion in Major League Soccer is David Beckham. I think he's got a lot of money out of Qatar, who are hosting the World Cup in 2022, so they need to get a reputation.
Yeah.
Beckham is well connected. Miami's a great city for international soccer. They've proved that over the years.
Yeah.
That will be a great franchise. Beckham, everything he touches turns to gold. He's a bright guy, but he has a lot of experts around him.
Exactly.
One of my best pals owns a home in Miami, and he says no problems. He's going to do great. So what I think will happen in Major League Soccer is, I think Miami's going to be the 20th team. I think in the next 4 or 5 years they might grow to 24, 25.
Yeah.
And then they might have to drop a couple. You know, just like Starbucks. If they want to increase their earnings per store, they just dump the bottom 200 or 300 stores. It's not making it.
Sure.
And automatically the numbers go. I think Major League Soccer, that's on the verge, I think this year, of cracking that 20,000 a game average right across the league. I think we averaged about 19,000 last year.
Yeah.
Led, of course, by the dominant team, the dominant franchise, which is the Sounders, who've done a fantastic job. But I do think if Vancouver can push up a little bit, I know Montreal's expecting a huge crowd for their home opener against the Sounders.
Toronto too with the big acquisitions.
Well, Vancouver's pushed the boat out. I mean, you know, they've signed Jermaine Defoe, who's a good player. They've signed Michael Bradley from Roma. So
And
they're
the
trying to
Brazilian
make it work.
goalkeeper.
They
I
are.
talked to Stephen Fry, who's the goalie now for the Sounders, him and Marcus Hanneman and Josh Ford. Stephen had 6 managers in 5 years at Toronto.
In Toronto, yeah.
And 200 players.
Wow.
Now, how can you have a settled club? That's why this club, the Sounders, is so special, because the turnover of players this year's been more than ever. Quite right, because we fell off the cliff at the end of last year. There's been 0 changes on the coaching staff, which meant 0 severance pay.
Yeah.
It's fantastic what this club has done, and we can only do better. And I'm going to be here to try and get them to do better.
That's right.
My deal.
Love it.
Good. So that brings up a question. So Nancy on Twitter,
Yeah, I know.
she says hello, by the way.
She's just been down to training camp.
She was. And she's flying home right now.
She's flying home right
She
now.
might be watching. She said her plane had Wi-Fi, and she was going to try and watch. So she
gonna be
might be
Hi,
watching.
Nancy.
So her question,
Hi, Nancy.
her question to you was, since you were talking about goalkeeper, what she'd like to know what he thinks about the goalkeeper issue, and who do you think is going to be the starter?
Is it really an issue to have great goalkeepers?
No, hold on. And who do you think is going to be the starter? Is it going to be? Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Is it going to be Marcus or Fry? And then her second part is she misses Michael a lot, obviously, as we all do. But how do you feel we are with that situation?
I think Michael was a bit unlucky. I think.
Yeah.
He had a bad few games towards the end of the season, and I think the fact that his salary was probably going up, and that's another salary cap issue that causes a problem. Some people lose their job because of salary cap issues, which I'd run a salary cap. It's a flipping nightmare.
Yeah.
Because you always defer. It's the way it is.
It is.
So that's why you shouldn't have a salary cap. But the bottom line is that Stephen Fry, Ziggy's always talked to me about him for years. He's come in here, he's settled down nicely. Marcus Hanneman, I brought Marcus Hanneman to the pros of the Sounders in 1994.
Exactly.
I took Marcus Hanneman to England. I took him to Sheffield Wednesday. And he made a living over there and did great. He played for his last club in England was my former club Wolves. He spent about 8 years at Reading. He's a great guy. He'll be pushing because he's a very good goalkeeper, and he'll be pushing Stephen Fry, Josh Ford, who's very quick. He's now fit again now, so I think the goalkeeping situation is very healthy. Chad Marshall's come in and looked a good player.
He looks great.
He's 6'5", which means he'd be a rocket in the air for set plays.
Absolutely.
For us, he'll defend well because he's so tall from the high balls, which we struggled a bit last year on. But he's also good at the ball at his feet.
Exactly.
I see Chad Marshall and Jimmy Traore being maybe the best combination we've had so far in the 5 years of history.
No,
I like that. That's what I'm talking about right there.
I know the spine is important, but if your back isn't strong, I don't care.
Ozzy last year, do you remember
beautiful.
Ozzy?
Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Ozzy Alonso, he's now a DP.
Yeah.
He's extremely happy. He's got a couple of kids.
You saw his kids.
I parked at SeaTacPark.com, and him and his wife and his 2 kids got on the bus. And I was like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, oh my God.
You'll never meet a nicer guy.
He was
than
amazing.
Ozzy Alonso.
I felt like a total weirdo.
He's a DP now.
Yes. Huge.
He's not suspended for the first game. He was last year.
Yes, correct.
Remember the year
do.
before?
I remember very well.
So I mean, he's happy now. He's looked a good player in training camp. So, and Leo Gonzalez, everybody admired him so much last year.
He was amazing last year.
How did he look in camp?
I've been a huge fan.
Is it going to be Remick or is it going to be Remick?
They're pushing Remick as well. I mean, Remick's
he's going to be. Do you think he starts, or do you think Leo starts?
It all depends on the state of Leo.
Okay.
That's actually
Leo might be fit. He's been playing some, but Remick has had a lot of time. He gets forward very well. Good left foot. So Andy Rose has been doing pretty well. Is Papa still here?
Nobody wants to hear Andy Rose doing well.
Andy Bowen looks a decent player.
Not at all.
Tristan Bowen is a right-sided player. Very quick.
He's looked good.
Pappas, yes.
So this brings
There's a Mexican kid who's still here who's played 45 times.
Gonzalo Pineda, that's right, Pineda.
I like him.
You think he's gonna make the team? You think he's gonna get a?
I don't know. I mean, hey.
So
This is a big year for the club because we fell off the cliff at the end of last year.
Make it or break it.
And it's in everybody's best interest to try and get a good start.
Well, I have a question that you broached on here, and the main point of the question is the first few years, the modern era, 2009 to 2012, there was a feeling about this team that was different in 2013 that didn't feel as exciting, or something was, I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Does that have to do with what you mentioned as a settled team? Were we unsettled in 2013 compared to this year?
You know what hurts? You know what hurts teams? It's my phone. I'm a popular man.
Yeah, you are. I know.
I know. He's more busy than all of us.
I know.
So here's the deal. In 2013, we were certain, in my opinion, to win the Supporters' Shield.
Yeah.
We were close.
I was right there.
Hey, we were games in hand, and we were slowly catching up still with the games in hand.
Yep.
Then we signed Dempsey, and everybody, including me, felt it's all over now.
We all know why, Coach.
Do you know why?
Adam
Then there was
Moffat,
the problem
Coach.
with Eddie Johnson.
No, Adam Moffat.
It was Adam Moffat, Coach.
If you look back when we lost Carrasco, everything changed. And I say that he's kind of joking, but I made a comment on the show that when we lost Carrasco, everything changed. And I'm not saying it was his fault, but I know we brought Dempsey in, etc.
It was a different dynamic. At that whole change, Carrasco leaving, Dempsey coming in, it was a different dynamic that kind of changed the feel of the team.
I think it caught us all blindsided.
It did, yeah.
Because there was so much euphoria with the signing of Dempsey.
Yeah.
He's a very good player.
Yeah.
He's not a superstar player. He's a team player.
Yeah.
He gets the job done. He gets his numbers.
Yeah.
Anybody that can score 50 goals for a very poor Fulham team has got to be a good player.
Exactly.
But he came here, and I'm sure the huge contract he signed
It cost some issues.
probably made him feel he's bulletproof financially now.
Yep.
He also probably was around the Fulham locker room or the Tottenham locker room, and I'm sure they're saying that Mickey Mouse League, Major League Soccer, and he probably believed it a little bit because he started doing all these step overs, which I've never seen him do before. I think he's had plenty of time to recognize that this league is a tough league, and he's now going to deliver big time.
So
I believe that with all my heart.
You think he's going to live up to the hype this season?
I think he will.
Good.
And I also think the team's more settled.
Yes.
There's not so many groups as in the past, which means there's not so many cliques.
Yes.
Sure.
Plus last year,
Yes.
I like the coach.
Sure.
He had horrendous injuries.
Yeah.
And there was never, I don't think he had the same lineup more than 2 times the whole year.
Exactly.
Well, most coaches, including me, if you're on a win, it's a wonderful week of practice.
Yeah.
You know the boys are going to go run through the wall for you. So you don't want to make too many changes, and you don't have to.
Yep.
So me, the first 4 games of the season are all Saturdays.
Yep.
And I look
All
to see
early
games, yeah.
Early
Yeah.
games, yeah.
So, can I ask a question?
Wait, hang on. Before you ask your question, can I ask your question?
No.
No.
It's 8:30. Do we want to take a 5-minute?
Are you okay to stay for a little bit? Or are you
I
going to
can stay
go?
for a little bit longer, yeah.
Okay.
Do
Are you okay to? Do you want a break, or are you okay to keep going for like?
I'll keep going for
Okay,
another
I'm
20
good.
minutes, and I've got to go there.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we're
I
okay.
appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
We have
about 30.
till 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to keep you too late, so you
Yeah.
gotta let us know when you're done.
Yeah, just
Okay,
give us the signal.
yeah.
Okay. So, my question though comes in, and again, you don't have to answer this. I talked to you a little bit before, but you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Obviously, on Twitter the last couple of weeks, you came out with some information about kind of your involvement with what's going on with the broadcast.
Right.
And you've joined us here obviously tonight, and in our chat room here, we've had a number of comments from a number of people that they are loving this because this is what you did on the broadcast. You brought stories, you brought information, you brought history. You brought the technical knowledge to the team and to the broadcast. And there are a lot of folks like us who are saddened by what's happened. And again, I don't want to put you in a spot or in a weird, but you answer however you want. I know you're not excited about being gone from the broadcast. I'll let you go from there.
I will tell you this, that my blood pressure's gone up.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about it, but I'm never going to stop supporting the Sounders. I've been a huge fan and participant, and nobody's done better than me in many ways.
Yeah, sure.
Over the last 35 years.
Yep.
I bought him back in 1994. We had a wonderful 3 years, 80, 81, 82. We won 2 divisions, went to Super Bowl.
Yep.
Had the best talent, local talent, and I thought I was doing a very good job on the broadcast, and I was told so.
Yeah.
And then I was told that I was getting a promotion
Right.
to be an ambassador,
Exactly.
and I was chuffed about that because I know the ambassador program. Some clubs, the ambassador's a stupid mascot. Sure. Standing out of Starbucks and shaking hands. Well, that's not my deal.
Yeah.
My deal is to do top level things. So I want to be the ambassador like Manchester United because the Sounds are a huge club. Sure. And if certain things work out the way I would like them to work, I can work with the club.
Yeah.
But I asked, is this in addition to my broadcast responsibility? And they said no. So first of all, they didn't tell me I wasn't doing the broadcast. They tried to tell me it was a promotion, but in fact, they were firing me from the broadcast. And I don't like that. I also think we have a big club. Some of the things that I didn't like about the way the broadcast was run, that sometimes you have to be careful what you said. Well, I'm an open door. I mean, I think the old fans deserve an explanation about Eddie Johnson.
Sure. Well, and they want it. People want to hear that.
And they want to have an explanation about what happened with Freddie Longberg and Kupo, Anderson and Michael Sperning. And I'm the guy that, and I can handle it. I tried to lean on the side of kindness to the club. I'm very, very, very proud of my involvement with the team, on and off the field.
Right.
And I won't let that go. But for them not to tell me why I was let go, there's people around town now saying, well, why did they let Alan go?
Yeah.
There's nobody on the broadcast team now, and I'm very fond of Casey Keller. I think he's great.
Sure.
There's there's nobody on the broadcast team that's coached the pro game.
Right.
Sure.
Well, isn't that letting the fans down? So I'm off, and I'm very disappointed about it. I still haven't had an apology for the way it was handled.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting one.
No.
But I've also got to pick myself up off the ground and get on with it because it's upsetting my health a little bit.
Right.
And, my wife is telling me to move on, but it's difficult sometimes when you've done
so much
it
vested.
for 5 years and
Not just
as you
five,
can
didn't
see,
get the money.
yeah. But as you can see, if 3 or 4 idiots with a camera and a microphone can do something, there's no reason why you can't do something too.
right.
Yeah. So, and I know you would get a lot of viewers. So,
definitely.
I mean, we have a lot of people watching, a lot of people who love you, and I appreciate you answering it. So,
I put it on Twitter because I know
It is
I've been fired
discouraging.
before.
yeah,
But that's as a head coach. Sometimes I do take head.
yeah,
But it's a core business.
yeah.
But not in the broadcast business. When they calling the insiders are calling me the Don.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
Don Meredith. The
Yeah.
fans are giving me rave reviews.
Yeah.
But for them not to tell me that I've been fired, I had to ask.
Yeah.
And for them not to give me an explanation as to why I'm not on the team. But if they bring in some big shot,
Yeah.
who's fantastic,
Sure.
who's better than I,
Yeah.
then I don't have a problem with that. But I wish him good luck. And
Yeah. And I think that's what's great about you, though, Coach, is that you're willing to come on here, and like we talked about an hour ago, you're willing to be you, and you're willing to talk about it.
There's
but
no
the heart,
filters here.
But
but
I mean,
the heart,
I gotta tell you, it's exciting for me. I mean,
Yeah.
You do
I'm
what
having
you
a
want.
good time.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You do what you want. That's what we like.
But I explained to my little granddaughter who's upset that I'm not on the broadcast
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Because she loved telling her friends that their grandpa was on the TV.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, if I was younger and I needed a job to pay my mortgage and pay for your schooling,
yeah.
I might have to be very, very nice to people. But I don't have to be nice to anybody if I don't. I'm nice to people who are nice to me.
Right, but at your heart, you still love the Sounders.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the best
I
part
made that
about
very
it.
clear.
Exactly.
And
I mean, it's so great
I
about
must
it.
have had 250 responses on Twitter,
Right.
all in my side. I will
Yeah.
tell you this.
Yeah.
I know how to plant answers, but I never did one of them.
Right.
Well,
Not one of them, because
you and Coach Fewing have a great relationship too, though.
Pete's a great guy, and he did a great job at CLU. But in the beginning, I mean, we were trying to make it work, and we did, and we created a good partnership.
Sure.
He's upset.
We had a lot of replies on Twitter from people around the world that love that you could be disappointed with not having that position anymore, but that you still fly the colors.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
Yeah.
comments immediately when you said that. I just wanted to pass that on. It's something I think.
Well,
all
and,
feel.
and here in the chat room right now, Nick Hollywood has hashtag HintonCast. So,
No trademark.
no
though.
trademark. He's willing to give it to you, so you can have your own podcast
just
called
got
HintonCast. But again, the folks here love it. You're a Sounders legend, and we love it. We're glad you're.
It's
we're
an
glad
honor.
you're here. It is.
I have to tell you, I'm having a lot of fun here.
That's
So
good.
we do have a couple viewer questions that came in earlier today.
You might go the way.
Yeah,
There
we're
are so many we can't even get
Oh,
to them all.
you actually have another.
Yeah.
I have a
I'll
question.
show you
I have
this
another
here.
question for you.
Go ahead.
What? This is from Jason Buzzard. He's the one that you signed in Salt Lake City.
He's for the military now.
Yeah, he's
He signed
Air Force.
He has your kit from.
He's a.
Wolverhampton.
It's Derby, not Darby. Come on.
I thought he had a Wanderers.
No, I know Darby. I know.
This is the Rams. Sorry.
But he's a big fan of the show. He loves you, obviously. He sent us a bunch of questions. One of them I thought was interesting. How were you involved in bringing the World Cup here to the U.S. in '94? And he wants to know your history a little bit about that, if you would.
Well, 1994 was an interesting year here because, first of all, I was coaching youth soccer.
Okay.
It was the formation of a club that eventually became Crossfire. And
Okay.
my teams were Crossfire Sounders.
I didn't realize
I
you
took
were.
2 teams for 6 years, from U13 to college.
Okay.
I got dozens and dozens of scholarships.
Yep.
Stanford, University of Washington, Yale,
Yep.
Santa Clara.
Yep.
So I was doing a lot of youth soccer.
Yep.
One of the fathers, Neil Farnsworth, who was doing very well at Microsoft, his boy played on the team. He came to me one day and he said, I want to help you get back in pro soccer. So I started looking at the A-League, and in the end we went forward with the team. I'm sure Major League Soccer tried to bump us out of the ballpark because they said they were going to put a team in Seattle. So I called their bluff, and I said, we'll partner with you, and then they ran away. Because they didn't want us to go forward. We made the 7th team in the A-League. There'd have been 6 they wouldn't have gone forward.
Right.
And how on earth Major League Soccer didn't come here all those years ago, I don't know.
Yeah.
But to come back when we did 5 years ago and do it first ticket.
Yes.
And the club does it first ticket.
Yeah.
I'm happy they've done it first ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the, in my day, if I'd have taken my shirt off after a game for Derby or Forest or Wolves and given it to you on the other team, have a guess what I would have to do after the game? I'd have to come and get it back off you.
Well, you'd hope he washed it first.
I mean, because I wouldn't have one for next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now today they give them away all the time, which is fantastic. Now replica jerseys, there was no such thing. I mean, very, very few.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, people like Rooney, who's just getting £300,000 a week. Maybe they're making £100,000 a week off a uniform for it.
Right.
You don't know, do you?
Yeah.
But the bottom line is that when we put together the team in 1994, we had mainly local players and we won the league the first year. The second year, 95, we won the whole thing, championship. But also, Dominic Kinnear came and played for us for 1 year.
Right.
That's right.
We had a wonderful player.
Yeah.
Chance Fry, very nice player. Brian Smetzer played with us a little bit, and he was good. And then Brian went to the Sea Dogs. And that's how we
I
started.
remember that. I used to work at a Mexican restaurant right down the street, Lower
He likes his
Queen.
knife and fork, Brian. He likes his knife and fork.
Let me ask you
Listen,
something,
Brian.
Coach. I want to just get this in a little bit. I know it's been a while since you played, but how do you compare, or what do you think about the supporter sections that we have here in the supporter community compared to some of the supporter groups in Europe?
You want to? Okay, you want to do that?
I think the fans here are fantastic. I said it when I first got involved in 2009 with the Sounders. They asked me about what's going on. I said there's a love affair going on between the old fans and the new. I said that 5 years ago, nearly 6 years ago, and I'll say it even more resounding now. That's what's going on. There's a lot of, when I leave here tonight, I'm going to go see my pals who've just played old man soccer. That's why I had a few phone calls. Where are you?
Yeah.
That's why I'm only having one beer here. I'm going to have another one with those guys.
Excellent.
Nice.
Good.
So the bottom line is that the GSSL might be the biggest adult league in the world here. You've got co-ed, you've got youth soccer. I mean, the youth clubs, Bernie James runs Crossfire, used to play for me. Chance Fry runs Eastside, used to play for me. Wade Webber runs Washington Premier, used to play for me. David Hogan used to play for me, runs Tynecastle. Bobby Howe, who used to be my assistant coach, he runs Emerald City. So they're all involved. Smetzer was involved, did a great job in youth soccer. And he's a future head coach, no question about it. He needs to hurry up because he's past 50 now. But I mean, but he'll do a good job because he's learned a lot from Ziggy.
What about the supporter groups? The supporter groups like the Emerald City supporters.
Fantastic.
And then you have, I think, Gorilla FC. But compared to some of the supporter groups in your day, how would you compare them?
Well,
Great question.
when I used to do television, we used to do the live show from that little box above Emerald City Club.
Yep.
And I love watching those fans because there's one guy who never watches the game.
Yeah, that's right.
Him. He's one of them.
Are you one of those guys?
He's a capo.
I got blessed and lucky to be one of those guys this last season.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
That's right.
For me, they sing some good songs. I think they can do better.
Hey, that's okay. That's what we want to
To
hear.
get some new songs, and I think Wolves have a great opening song. Wolves, I used to play for them.
Okay.
And he goes, it's called Hi Ho Silver Lining, and then he goes, Hi Ho
Listen on
Silver
this.
Lining, what will be, and then he says, come on, and then they turn the music up, and they all go, Wolverhampton. I tell you what, it's brilliant. If they did it for the Sounders, then you turn it off and they go, Seattle Sounders. It's a fantastic song.
I love it.
Right, so, you know what I mean? Hi Ho Silver Lining.
Okay. All right.
So I
Love it.
think, I mean, I used to, when they used to sing for me, when I was playing for Derby, they'd sing, Alan Hinton on the wing. and then everybody had a song.
Nice.
And I think we can do even better here.
Oh, man, I love it.
But the togetherness and the colours and, and the happiness that comes from the fans. If you can't play in Seattle, you can't play anywhere.
That's right. If you cannot get hyped up to play here.
But it also inspires a lot of the opposition teams as well.
It does, and that in the end, though, I think it's good for the sport in the country and the culture in the community. Everybody has to keep improving. So I'm very proud to be part of the supporter family here. I'm ECS and I'm Barra. I don't know if you heard of this subgroup, Barra Fuerza Verde. We're part of ECS, but we're the first Latino subgroup, the first Latino supporter group.
You guys love the game.
Yes, and check out the scarf.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's frightens the enemies.
Yeah.
It is.
Cool.
Okay, so we have a bunch of people in the audience here, and I wanted to just ask the question real quick, if you're okay if I ask them, if they have any questions to bring to the table. So a little bit. Hey guys, does anybody out here want to ask Alan any questions?
The best stadium he's ever been to.
What's the best stadium you've ever been to?
Atmosphere, watched.
One time I played for Derby County at Real Madrid.
Yep.
120,000 people there. Now that's the best stadium, but I've also played at Wembley Stadium a couple of times in London. That's 100,000 fans.
What's the best one you visited as a spectator?
What's the best one you visited as a spectator?
I went to watch a game in Rome one time. England played Italy. I think it was 1980 in the World Cup qualifying.
What was the question?
That was wonderful as well. But
I told him.
you know, and that's the tragedy for me being an Englishman. England hosted the World Cup in '66 and we won it. We've not had it since.
Well,
That is shocking, isn't it? But they'll send it to Qatar. They'll send it to Qatar, and
do we even have enough air conditioning for that?
Air conditioning question.
Air conditioning for Qatar.
it's called money. 120 degrees in the summer, right?
You know, those poor Irish boys, they're going to qualify, and they're going to like them playing in Florida in '94 again, right?
Right. It'll be interesting to see if the Russians are still playing their games like they are now in the Ukraine, whether they'll host the World Cup in 2018. I mean, you don't know, do you? I mean,
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
That first time you wore the England, the first time you represented your own nation, talk about that. How did that
Dave
feel?
Clark asking the first time he wore the kit, the English kit, in case you couldn't hear.
How it felt the first time putting on
the first time I wore the England uniform was England against France. I was 19 years of age. This is the first team. I'd already played 12 games for the under-23s and that. I was so damn nervous. I don't think I saw the first 20 minutes. Honestly. But white is always special. You know, I mean, it was quality stuff, you know, England national team. And it was a wonderful feeling to put the jersey on.
Now you're going to worry about it.
And we tied 1-1 against France. But I'll never forget that.
The important thing is they can hear.
And then, but the interesting thing was, I mean, you know, we got good money as players, but nothing big time. The night after the game, I went back to my house with my mom and dad, and I was 19. I slept with my 16-year-old brother, didn't I? You know what I mean? I mean, that's the way it was in those days. Today they got penthouses, these players, and Ferraris, and you know, so.
Played for some youth club. Youth now.
I played. I always get it mixed up. I played 6 times for the under-23s, or 7, and 6 for England youth team.
Seattle has
First time somebody called you,
Yeah.
like a Kovar, Yedlin, etc. What's that feeling like?
I've still got in England, newspapers used to have a billboard on the little sign outside the shop, and I've still got it. It says, "Wednesbury boy picked for England," and that was me. It was a fantastic feeling. I mean, but in my day, the players didn't, like today, everybody gets excited. In my day, the senior players needed to keep your feet on the ground. You know what they say? Hey, young man, if you keep playing like you're playing, we might say hi in about 3 years. Just to keep your feet on the ground, you know? And that's the way it was. Everybody was modest. there was a maximum wage on what you could get paid. Today, I think it's great the players get a lot of money, but I just wish everybody played for the love of the game like we all did. At times, you know.
MLS is a lot like this, where the players live in the same neighborhood. That's not true in the NBA.
Oh no. I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of changes in Major League Soccer in the next 10 years. I hope I'm around to see it, because they got to start bringing the better Americans back. Josie Altidore couldn't even get in the A-team for the final on Saturday. So they don't want him at Sunderland. So why didn't somebody go and get him? There's other players now playing on the World Cup team for America who are with all the clubs. And the Major League Soccer's got to be very careful that we don't get a reputation for paying too much money to bring a player back. You know, because they paid $10 million for Michael Bradley, and we paid good money for Dempsey. And I'm not sure they were the best negotiated deals. You know what I mean? So, but see, all over Europe they think Americans, you got plenty of money. You know, no matter what business you're in, they always think that. So, I think the game's going a long way, because the infrastructure's there with the academies. They're producing more homegrown players now. The training facilities are very good. When they go to training camp, they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to do things right. I like the way the league is right now. I think they'll go over 20,000 average this year. So I think things are good, and I think we'll have a good year. I think I'm not. We've got less groups of players now. We've got fewer cliques, and I was down in Tucson for 8 days with the team, and they seemed very happy and they got along well. Obafemi Martins looks as if he's settled now, which is good. I can't say I thought that last year with him. Chad Marshall looks as if he's settled in nicely. The goalie position looks good, and Kenny Cooper looks okay at the front. And then Dempsey will come and do a great job, because he now realizes. I think he thought last year it was a bit easier than it is, but now he's had time to think about it. I think you'll see a huge influence on the team from Dempsey this year.
All right, so we're going to pull him back in. We have a couple last questions here, and then we'll get you out of here so you can go to your next thing.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for the questions.
So, Coach,
So do you know a gentleman called Soccer Reform on Twitter?
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Well, good. So let me say something here. Let me preface it. He was actually on our show, and when he was on our show, when he's not on Twitter, he's actually a relatively rational, sane, intelligent human being. Sometimes on Twitter, and I love you, Ted.
We love you, Ted.
But sometimes he gets a little bit rambunctious.
No, I know who he is. Yeah.
So
I know. He's like, I know. If you're on Twitter, you know.
You were talking to.
Is Ted listening?
Western.
Hey, hello, Ted. How are you, Ted?
so Ted.
I had an Uncle Ted, one time.
So Ted actually has a couple of questions, which our audience is really interested in as well.
And we are.
It's twofold.
Shit. That was awesome.
So
we didn't have
anyway-
our sound on.
So anyway, now we're going to go ahead and talk about this again. We're going to reintroduce the question, Coach. So Ted, Soccer Reform has kind of posed a question to us to ask you, and it's specifically around. It's a two-part question. The first one is how can MLS benefit from promotion relegation, and how are the Sounders not benefiting by having an open league or having to utilize salary cap and things like that? So I'm going to leave it to you, Coach.
This will be
Well, first of all, promotion and relegation in America will never happen, and I'll tell you why. Because the people who put big money up to get the franchise would never, ever take it on the premise that if you have a bad team, that you get relegated, and I can't blame them for that.
Sure.
Now, if FIFA comes down and says the US are going to be banned from international play, unless they do it, that's a problem. But I also think, and I think Ted's right. I mean, the salary cap for me, I don't like the salary cap. So we're on the same page there. And I think there's 20 teams in Major League Soccer, and 6 or 8 of those teams want to go and buy international superstars. Then maybe it might be 9 or 10 the next year, because these franchises have gone up dramatically.
Yes.
I mean, there was a business program on Bloomberg, and I'm a big
That was a great episode.
Bloomberg. I like that.
It was.
Even Joe Roth said that paid $30 million for the franchise of the Sounders, and it was worth $120 million. I think it's worth more than that, the Sounders franchise. But so even if owners are having to put money in, the value of the franchise is going up.
Sure.
And I think let certain teams spend big money.
So you would say then pro rel is not going to happen, but you would like to see more of an open system without as much of a salary cap, or maybe a higher salary cap.
Well, I think the salary cap, everybody tends to fudge around it.
Sure.
You know, they delay money, or they
you can buy players down, etc.
You give a load of money to the agent, more than he's going to get, and he'll give it to the player, and it's a nightmare. I wouldn't want to run I've run a salary cap for the Tacoma Stars, and I hated it. So Adrian Hanauer runs the salary cap for the Sounders. That's got to be his toughest job. I mean, it's very hard.
Sure.
Okay.
But the bottom line is that, you know, Ted. I know Ted keeps coming on about promotion and relegation. I think he needs to get off that bandwagon, because it's never going to happen.
There we go.
That's
Wow.
you know,
There
that's
you go, Ted.
that's an honest and fair answer.
That was a great answer. I mean, it was.
No, it's
it makes
you know,
sense.
I mean, when we talk about U.S. sports, and we talk about sports in America, we talk about these teams that have, you know, owners that invest a shitload of money in their teams, and to have the concept of losing that, and you know, I mean, can you imagine today, Coach, if an Arsenal or a Man United or a Chelsea dropped down down to Division
A few
One?
years ago, I was playing when Manchester United got relegated.
Sure. That must have
They got
been
relegated to Division 2.
that must have been horrific.
Division 1 was the equivalent to Premier League.
Yeah.
Right.
Now it's
my 3 clubs are all in the well, 2's in the Championship, 1's in Division 1.
sure.
And they're big clubs.
Sure. So when a club in England makes that drop, is it significant? Is it a
Hard to get back.
that I can understand?
And you also get television money by being in the big league.
As a Wigan fan, I can tell you it's hard to get back. So
They did.
that it's good to know. I mean, it's an honest approach, which we in America don't really understand, because we're
I
used
think
to
it's
the
a
U.S. pro.
fundamental deal. I mean, if you're a businessman and you pay $50 million for a franchise, but next year you could go into the NASL or the PDL, whatever you call it, or the US League, which is that big compared to Major League Soccer. We all hope these leagues, we pull them up by the bootstraps.
Sure.
And,
Sure.
I think there's a lot of progress going on there, but so the Seattle Sounders going
Dropping down?
Drop down.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, 44,000 is going to come about 7 or 8.
Exactly.
And you know, it's just pure business.
Yeah.
And there is a business side to to soccer now, and there needs to be, because reckless teams that spend stupid money go out of business sometimes.
Because of what happened back in the 70s with the other league, when they made, you know, they grew really fast.
Well, I think you know, it's so easy though to blame the old North American Soccer League, because it just makes it's an excuse in some cases, and a genuine excuse for Major League Soccer to say we're not going to go down the path of North American Soccer League. Well, there were some very good players in North American Soccer League. Some very good teams.
Taylor?
Frankly, some of those teams then were better than some of the teams now.
Absolutely.
I mean,
As
you-
pure
you-
talent level.
Yes.
Beckenbauer, Pele.
Oh my God,
You just
Yeah.
think of the names of the
I had a lot of
Cosmos.
talent. I had a lot of talent.
Sure.
The Whitecaps at the Tulsa
Sure.
Roughnecks.
Yeah, towards the end.
But in
of
the end,
yeah.
I mean, you know, the game's doing well.
Yeah.
It's doing very, very well.
Game's doing very, very well.
Now, I have a personal question to ask, Coach. How do you feel about the U.S. Open Cup?
That's a great question, actually.
Well, I think the Sounders resurrected the league and shoved it to a new high.
Yeah.
I think the Sounders have, by taking the US Open Cup very seriously, has elevated that.
Yep.
It's a worthwhile trophy now.
Give it the prestige that
I love the
deserves.
FA Cup. I love the Capital One Cup. I love all that.
But there's a problem there. Some of the coaches, Wenger's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
They don't play the best teams.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I do think the Sounders have given the US Open Cup a lot of credibility.
Yep.
I believe that with all my
And we're
heart.
big fans of that.
We are. I mean,
we're
you know
huge
what,
fans of it.
for me, being a fan of football in America, sitting in the beer garden at Starfire, watching a U.S. Open Cup game, there's actually nothing better than being able to heckle. Than being able to heckle Kevin Hartman as he's playing goal.
I love going to Starfire.
Yeah. It's the best
Watching the
ever.
kids play, watching U.S. Open Cup games, reserve sometimes.
The girls play, the ladies play.
Well, I think they're going to Memorial Stadium.
They are now.
They are. Yeah.
The Rain, the Seattle Rain are going up the
Rain.
Memorial. Yeah.
Starfire Women'll stay.
That's good. I'm sure the Sounders will help them as well because
It makes sense.
it's in everybody's best interest.
Of course.
Sounders are top of the tree.
Yeah,
Everybody else help them out, and I think that's good.
Yeah.
So it's 9 o'clock, and I know you probably have to get on to your next event. So the last questions in here. There's one real question and one not real question. So do you have time for those two?
Yeah.
Where do you see the Sounders, MLS, and/or the U.S. men's national team is the question in 10 years? Do you see it like as far as a rank maybe in the league? I'm guessing I'm reading into the question, but do you see us getting closing the gap on Europe, or where do you see 10 years from now?
I think it's hard to suggest that in 10 years the Sounders will be like Barcelona or Bayern or Chelsea or Manchester United or Liverpool or Arsenal.
Teams with 100 years of experience.
You know, I mean, they've all been in business for over 100 years. And I mean, Chelsea right now is signing all the best young players in the world.
Right.
And the coach is a dynamo.
Amazing.
Mourinho?
Genius.
They've got to make the coach's box bigger for him. He's always stepping out of it. He goes on the field and everything. He just, he knows when the camera's on him. And he's a big showboater, but he's brilliant at his job. He was a golfer for Bobby Robson at Barcelona.
Really?
His history is fantastic. But the bottom line is, the best way for Major League Soccer to jump up there, and it's had a wonderful, certainly last 5 years since the Sounders have pushed them higher than they've ever been. I think the next 5 years we'll probably finish up with about 24 franchises. Average crowd of maybe 22, 23, 24,000. American players will be back. American player, and it's mainly because they are our agents. I would always say, "No, take it to Europe because you'll make more money in Europe." And that's possible. That is true. But the bottom line is, don't underestimate the coaching skills of the teams here. The Sounders have a great coach. They have great coaches. They run good practices. The academy coaches, Dick McCormick and Henderson's and down at Sawatsky do a great job. And Ziggy does a great job.
Great
Ziggy will always, if a kid is impressive in practice, if a kid's impressive, they push him. And I think, so for me, I've watched Barcelona practice. I've watched Aston Villa practice. I've watched Derby County practice. I've watched Chelsea practice. I've watched Manchester United practice. The Sounders practices are equally as good as all that. So why not keep them here? You know the biggest problem to American players is flipping internet and the flipping stupid cell phone. You know, because instead of kicking the ball under the lamppost like I did, they're messing about with war games and all this kind of crap. You know what I mean? They want to learn the skills, touch the ball against the wall. And so all you need is the ball on the wall. You know?
You're right.
So for me, I think the game's going well. I'm ducking the question over the U.S. national team.
That's fine.
You don't need to.
You don't need to.
I hope we do well in the World Cup. Klinsman's right. First game against Ghana is huge.
Huge.
I don't see them going through, frankly, but I hope they do. I'll certainly be cheering for them.
If they do, they're knocking out Portugal or Germany. So
I mean, Portugal can be beaten. I mean, we beat them before in the World Cup.
And they tend to have.
All right. So the last question. Multiple people in here said it, and I was going to ask it regardless if they had asked it. When are you coming back? Because this was the most fun I've had in a long time. So I know you're a busy man.
Anytime.
I have to go play.
Oh, that's right. Good play.
All right, so I'm not going to do it.
What should I tell my team? We suck. We're over 30 ladies. What should I tell them?
Work hard.
Tell them we are the best team.
All right.
See, that's typical. I mean, the young lady's going to play soccer now. Wonderful.
Yep. That's his wife.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, you're going to go cheer for her?
Yeah.
Nope. You know what the worst thing about over 30 soccer for a women's coach? Listening to a bitch for 60 minutes on the field.
At least they're not bitching at you, right?
Usually.
Yeah. So,
No, I mean, I've enjoyed it. I mean, you know, I mean, if I hadn't enjoyed it, I'd have been gone. I mean, that's the way I am.
Yeah,
I
That's
mean,
actually good to know. Thank you.
yes.
no, I've loved it. You guys are great.
Awesome.
It's been an honor.
Yeah, absolute honor. So, thank you so very much. The fans watching, thank you guys. And the fans here locally, thank you guys. And
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming out. Coach, thank you. We would love to see you.
Man, we'll go.
I will. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach.
thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to go ahead and
I'll see you guys.
Go ahead, do single
I'm
window.
going to walk out. You guys want to do anything else?
Just do a single window.
Okay.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Single window real quick. We'll close up.
All right, boys and girls.
Hey, look at that.
It's 3. Now, look at that. Everybody joined all of a sudden.
And we're out. So,
Thank you guys all for watching tonight. Great questions. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope you guys had fun.
yeah, no, I mean, you know what? Having a Sounders legend like that here in front of us
Wow.
and being able to ask a lot of really cool questions about England, about World Cup, about tacos,
About Mexico.
Oh, I forgot to ask him about Biggie and Tupac.
We didn't ask him the traditional SonarFeed question,
well,
but
no worries.
we'll figure it out.
There was too many other
I would
questions.
love to get him back on.
And what we'll do though is we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna get it up on the screen and broadcast it here. So, because that was the one thing that was lacking was getting the true interaction for everybody to hear. So we'll work on that and fix that. But you guys, thank you so much.
Man, love it.
Thank you for all your support.
Definitely.
Thank you for everything you guys do for us.
Yep.
And,
All the retweets and the tweets and everything.
Remember, we're all going to be in the stands on Saturday. So
Let's go.
Well, except for this guy.
This
guy's
guy.
not going to be in the stands.
Come on, man.
No, he's got to work. So
All right, boys and girls. I'm gonna
Peace
walk out.
Rock it.
See you guys next
Love
week.
you guys, man. Oh yeah. Let's see if I can catch a quick photo with him real quick.
When does he get it?
He doesn't,
Why not?
because he broke the rules.
What rules? We didn't see any rules, did we, Charlie?
Wrong, sir, wrong. Wrong, sir, wrong. Wrong, sir, wrong. Wrong, sir, wrong. You lose a contract signed by him. You get washed. You get sterilized. You get nothing. Good day. You lose. Wrong, sir, wrong. I said wrong, sir, wrong. You get wrong, sir, wrong. I said wrong, sir, wrong. You lose. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Clear as crystal. You lose. Good day, nothing. You lose. Get good day, nothing. You get good day, nothing. You get good day, nothing. You get nothing. You get nothing. You get nothing. Clear as crystal. You lose. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Black and white, all there. Clear as crystal. You lose. Fax mentis incendium gloria culpa memo bis punitor della casa etc. You're a swindler. Wrong, sir. Wrong. You're a cheat. Wrong, sir. Wrong. You're a swindler. Wrong, sir. Wrong. And you're a nut. Good day, nothing. You get 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 37 beat if I follow static copy. 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 You stole nothing. You what? You stole nothing. You what? You stole nothing. You what? Chocolate? Wrong.
Well, when does he get it?
He doesn't.
Why not?
Because he broke the rules.
What rules? We didn't see any rules, did we, Charlie?
Wrong, sir, wrong. Wrong, sir, wrong. Wrong, sir, wrong. Wrong, sir,